Kia ora, hello, thank you for joining us. I'm Philip Duncan with hay fever at the moment. My apologies, but it's just the windy weather at the moment outside. I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely feeling hay fever today with all being blocked up, so apologies if I sound it. On the animated wind map today, you can see the windy weather that we're talking about. These are the southeasterlies blowing through. It doesn't have to be very windy, by the way, for the pollen on trees, on plants to be shaken and blown into the air. So that's the reason why when there's a bit of a windy weather pattern across the whole island, you know, sweeping right across, not just locally where you are, that's usually when we find the pollen count going up around New Zealand, and so more people might be getting the snuffles or the blocked noses and that sort of stuff over the next day or so. But probably not so likely if you're right along the eastern side of the North Island, because you've got rain clouds blowing through and the wind is coming straight off the sea. And you're wondering why it's cold, because we keep talking about subtropical winds. Well, the subtropical portion is up here, but the colder version that you're getting in Hawke's Bay coming up from south of the Chatham Islands and straight on in. So that's why you've had a very cold past 24 hours, and the next day or two ahead not looking overly warm. But plenty of rain coming through at the moment. This is the latest Met Service rain radar taken live as we recorded this mid-morning, and you can see plenty of rain coming down, some heavy falls, especially around Gisborne and northern Hawke's Bay, and that rain's going to continue off and on. You can see it's a bit patchy, but it's going to be off and on for the next few days ahead. So the rainfall totals are still expected to exceed 100 millimetres, and you can see that live rain radar now from the Weather Watch website. Let's have a look at the forecast. So here's how we end the working week. Looks pretty much how we started it. More low pressure to the north, more rain falling around Hawke's Bay and Gisborne, and further down now into Waited Upper. So that's good news, because Waited Upper really does need some rain. So that rain will be coming in. Now here's the positive news for you. It does warm up a little bit on Friday, because your airflow is now coming from north of the Chatham Islands, from over here and coming down. So it'll be a little bit milder as we go through Friday. Sunny from Taranaki down, although actually, sorry, I shouldn't say sunny, dry. It might still be a bit cloudy around the North Island, but sunnier weather the further south you go. Really big high pressure, and we've also got wet weather on the eastern side of Australia, caught up in that same big easterly airflow. As we go into the weekend, Saturday sees more wet weather around the North Island, but it starts to retreat back northwards again. So Waited Upper, your rain will likely sort of fade out, peter out, become lighter, and we might see heavier falls returning again to East Cape and northern Hawke's Bay as we go through the day. Dry over the South Island, and still got some showers out here, not as many of them. A northerly flow coming down on that side, so warm, but a much cooler southerly coming into Adelaide. That could spark a few thunderstorms. By Sunday, those thunderstorms and that active weather moves further out towards Sydney and New South Wales and ACT, but over in New Zealand, more of the same. Still got those showers coming through, or rain. It might still be set in for some areas, and mostly dry elsewhere with high pressure ballooning around. But the North Island certainly has got plenty of cloudy weather over the next few days ahead. Now, as we go into next week, Monday kicks off with high pressure moving away from the country, and so drying out. Now, we've got a couple of light showers left over, but that's about it. Otherwise, those winds have eased, and next week kicks off on a far more settled note for New Zealand. Not quite so settled over in Australia. You'll have some rain clearing away from Sydney, but moving up into Brisbane, and you've got a few showers lingering around down in the south, although not too many, to be honest with you. By Tuesday, here's the next rainmaker out over in Perth. That's starting to form. There's a southerly with colder airflows moving into Adelaide, Melbourne and Hobart, all pretty much at the same time. New Zealand's still settled, not a lot going on, fairly calm in fact, with a few rainmakers just out at sea. And then our final map shows not a great deal of change again by the middle of next week for the New Zealand area. Still got, though, the light northerly flow coming out from around Tonga. You know, the Pacific Islands, I'm going to hopefully mention them more tomorrow in a video, but plenty of easterlies coming along the Pacific Islands. So very normal La Nina type weather. In the New Zealand area, it comes down as a light northerly by the middle of next week. But look at Australia, a big rainmaker in Western Australia once again. Another one out here around Victoria, Tasmania, ACT, New South Wales, even getting up into Queensland. So Australia's got a very different weather pattern at the moment. Here's the rainfall for the next 7 days ahead. And take a look at this. Rainfall totals around the eastern North Island, up around 80 millimetres still to go. And I think there could be some areas that still get over 100 millimetres. So this is just a bit of a broad, brief look. But I'm more interested in Australia. You know, Rainmakers in a number of the big main centres, but also right here, smack bang in the middle of the dry area. So we've got rain falling there, but one of the driest parts of New Zealand will be around the South Island. The dark blue you see on either side here is actually showing 0 millimetres of rain. That is actually just the sea on the satellite map. So dry weather dominating the South Island due to high pressure. That's all from me. We'll see you again on Friday with our weekend weather update.